In this video, I want to show you how easy it is to find the important theme words and phrases for anything you want to write about, and in particular, how that gives you the competitive edge when you're writing product reviews. So I want to start off by finding a completely random product, something that I know nothing about. So I'm going to head over to Amazon and I'm going to just have a look down on the home page and find a product here. Let's have a look. All right, let's pick a camera. Let's click on this Kodak. I don't know anything about Kodak PixPro Friendly Zoom FZ43, but we're going to find out a lot about it just by finding the theme words and phrases for this camera. So I'm going to copy the title and I'm going to open up Web Content Studio, and I'm just going to open an article so I can have somewhere to store the themes and phrases that are found. So here we are, we've got the article editor open, we've got theme words blank, theme phrases blank. Let's go over to the keyword spider and I'm going to paste in the phrase or the title of the product. Now we've got some options here, because one of the things you will notice if we go back to Amazon is that as we scroll down, we're going to see details for a lot of other products on here. Now if the spider goes away to this page and brings back all the information, all the words and phrases on this page, there's going to be a lot of irrelevant stuff, because for example it could bring back sports camera, sports video 4K, Wi-Fi action cam, all the details here, Tech Vision 4-pack, Bushnell 20 megapixel. These are words and phrases that are on this page, and this is typical of shopping sites. So when I'm writing a review, what I like to do is remove shopping sites altogether. And with Web Content Studio, we've got an ignore list here where we can enter shopping site or at least parts of the shopping site URL, and then these URLs will be ignored if they're found in the ones that are being used by the spider. Let me just show you. At the moment, I'm not going to ignore anything. And if I was just to click on the one-click spider, it's going to go to Google, it's going to find the top 10 pages, and I can click on this button here to see which URLs are actually being used by the spider. And here we go, we've got these ones here. Let me just open that up a little bit. Right, we've got Amazon, we've got Walmart, we've got Kmart, we've got Argos, we've got Sears, we've got eBay, we've got Overstock. All of these are shopping sites that are going to pollute the LSI theme words and phrases. So for me, the best thing to do is to get rid of these shopping sites if I want to write about a topic, but don't want to have the theme words and phrases polluted by shopping site information that is irrelevant to what I want to write about. So let me show you how I can do that quite easily by clicking this Add Shopping Sites. Now when I click that button, the shopping sites that are in my system are added to the temporary ignore list, so that when the spider goes off to Google, if it finds any of those strings, so if it finds Amazon, so it would find that one, okay, and it would find this one down here, Amazon Canada, it's basically going to ignore it, and it will do the same for eBay, Argos, Walmart, Sears, Kmart, Macro, Overstock and Price Check. Now you're going to have your own list of shopping sites that you may want to ignore, and you can add them easy enough just by adding them to the end of this list here and then just clicking on save, and then that will be saved to file, and anytime you want to use the shopping list as a temporary ignore list, you can just put them in there. I've just added that twice, so let me just remove that. So I'm now ignoring the shopping sites. I want to write about this camera. I don't know anything about it, so I'm going to pick detail level. Detail level 1 is the lowest detail level. It's going to return the fewest theme words and phrases, but it's going to mean that you've got less cleanup at the end because there's going to be less irrelevant stuff. As you move down to 5, you're going to get the most theme words and phrases, and the XX one will basically give you the most, but there's going to be quite a lot of cleanup. When I'm doing research for something I know nothing about, I actually prefer to have the XX because, well, I'll show you in a minute, but we'll now get the spider to go away to the pages in Google that are ranking for the term Kodak PixPro Friendly Zoom FZ43, and then the tool will analyze those pages. It will look for the theme words and theme phrases, and then it's going to come back with a list. Because we're going on the XX level, it's going to take a couple of minutes probably. I'm going to pause the video until that's finished. And we're just coming to the end of the analysis. It's just checking forward phrases now. And when that finishes, we'll get a pop-up. Here we go, it's just popped up outside of the screen there. On the left-hand side, you can see the individual theme words. There is a pipe and then a number. The number indicates the number of the top 10 pages that that word appears on. So cameras appears on 10 out of the top 10 pages. Camera singular appears on 9 out of the top 10. Digital, Kodak, zoom, they all appear on 9 as well. Now, obviously, a word that appears on all of the top 10 pages is going to be more important than, for example, a word that only appears on 4 of the top 10 pages. So these words are basically listed in order of importance. If you really don't know anything about the topic you're writing about, then these LSI theme words and phrases really come into their own to help you, because on the right-hand side, we've got theme phrases, and what I like to do is to scroll to the bottom first. Because we've got the XX level of the spider selected, some of these theme phrases have only appeared on one of the top 10 pages. Now, theme phrases and theme words are very different. If a theme word only appears on one of the top 10 page, then it's not going to be very important. If it only appears on 2, 3, 4, whatever, it's not going to be that important. Theme phrases are a little bit different because theme phrases obviously are made up of more than one word. And so we have situations like this. And if I just highlight these ones here, you can see memory card ultimate class, flash memory card ultimate. Well, obviously that's part of flash memory card ultimate class. We've got capacity flash memory card. That's probably high capacity flash memory card. Now, all of these things relate to the memory card. You're not going to want to include these as phrases in your content, but it gives you the hint you need to talk about the memory cards of this camera. Because we chose the XX up here, we are getting these one counts in the phrases. Normally I would ignore them, but when I'm trying to write about something I don't know anything about, I use these to give me hints what I'm going to write about. Normally I would have a cutoff at 2 at the very minimum, and then I know that the theme phrases are going to be a little bit more specific to what I want to write about. So how can this help you write better reviews? Well, it gives you a list of things you need to write about. So zoom, memory upgrade. Okay, we need to talk about or suggest that maybe in our article we put something about upgrading memory in this camera. I don't know how you do it, but it's something you'd need to research to write about. We need to talk about the memory card. If we keep going up the list, let's have a look. Okay, we've got a 4x zoom HD 720. So the lens on here is a 4x zoom and it's recording HD 720p, which means it's got video. So we need to make a note of that and we need to then investigate that. It's a 16 megapixel 4x zoom. So the camera is 16 megapixel. Obviously you need to check this, because it is possible that sales pages or sales sites have got through and it's referring to a different product. But a quick check of Amazon will tell you, is it a 16 megapixel camera with a 4x zoom? Probably. Here's another example of where the theme phrases are not important by themselves, because basically these two things say the same thing. Digital camera, 16 megapixels, 4x, and then we've got the 4x zoom down here. Compact digital camera. Okay, so it's a compact digital camera. We can keep going up the list. Okay, memory upgrade. We've got information about the FZ43 memory upgrade. So obviously that is important. And if we keep scrolling up the list, I see it's got a mention here of Nikon, Olympus, Panasonic. That's obviously a site that is listing different manufacturers of cameras, but it might be something you could put into your article and compare. Well, this is the Kodak, but the closest or the alternatives to that, we've got the Nikon whatever, the Olympus whatever, Panasonic whatever. So that might be something you put into your article. We've got mention of a shooting mode here. So normally with these cameras you have a little dial and you can say whether you're shooting in sunlight or indoors or in a theatre or whatever. So you need to include something about the shooting mode. Got mention of an action camera. So is it a good camera for capturing action? Flash accessories, something else you need to include. Lens accessories. Mirrorless ILC. I have no idea what that means, but it's something I would look up if I was writing about this. It mentions SLR cameras. Well, this isn't an SLR camera, but we can keep going up the list. So we've got 16 megapixel. We've already seen that. We've talked about the zoom. Keep going up. We're into the 2s now. These ones have appeared on 2 of the top 10. There's a mention there of Canon PowerShot. I don't know whether that is an alternative or similar camera, just a Canon make. Got mention of a 5x zoom, which I don't think is this camera. HD video AA battery. Well, is it AA batteries that this camera takes? Something to check. And certainly LCD, talk about the LCD screen on the camera. Camera accessories, talk about the memory card, we've already mentioned that. LCD screen, okay, just looked at that. We've got face detection. Now, again, you can see a good example of here why the phrases that this tool is returning are not phrases you're going to want to put into your article, because face detection and AA is part of a longer sentence, face detection and AA batteries. But it gives us the clues of what we need to write about. Does this camera have face detection? We've got here 27mm wide angle lens. That's something you need to look up, but it's something that you would need to include if you were writing a review about this particular camera. Got face detection again there, HD video, 16 megapixel, 4x optical zoom. So it's an optical zoom rather than software zoom, wide angle, digital cameras and Kodak PixPro. So in those list of theme phrases, we've got a lot of hints what we need to write about. And what I would do is I would just clean these up a little bit, because you can go in and you can just delete anything. Let's just say we want to delete, let's have a look. Just wanted to delete some of these. You can just go in and delete them. And once your list is cleaned up, you can then add them to the article. Over on the left hand side with the theme words, these are the words that are more important to get into your article. And typically what I would tend to do is go down them and pick anything that isn't on at least the top 5 or 6. So let's just say anything under 5 we'll delete. And I noticed there that one of those phrases or one of those keywords was 16 megapixels, but let's just delete that list. And then I would go through there and just clean that up. So I'm just going to quickly go through these lists, clean up, remove anything that I don't think I need to include. For example, I don't need to include cameras and camera. I will just include one, but I'll be back in a second. And I've just about finished cleaning that up, but I just wanted to show you these last 3 items because these are basically talking about the same thing. Secure digital high capacity flash, high capacity flash memory. So essentially what we're talking about is secure digital high capacity flash memory. So I'm going to just edit that to include it. I've cleaned up the theme words as well. All I need to do is save it to the article, and I've now got my theme words there and my theme phrases. And the theme phrases, if I just go in and grab those, I can just paste directly into the article ready to start writing. And these are then indicators of what I need to talk about. So I need to talk about the 4x optical zoom. It's user-friendly optical zoom, 16 megapixels HD video, it's got face detection. This eye removal is going to actually be red eye removal, so I can go in and edit that. And all of a sudden I've got a map that tells me exactly what I need to write about in my review. And I've got all the theme words as well to make sure I include those, and I can check those with the theme reports to make sure I actually do include them in my final article. So using theme words to help you plan out articles is a real benefit and gives you a competitive edge, because it makes sure you include all of the important things that the other top 10 pages include as well. And as you've seen, finding those theme words and phrases is really easy if you have the right tools.